is your Irontrader, and this is midday trading. We got the bull running here today. Okay, we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, crude oil, natural gas. But first of all, we're going to take a look at the Nasdaq index, and we'll take a look here at NVDA. This video is for information purposes only, not recommended to buy, selling stock, not ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have the old Nasdaq. Now, it's all about these tariff situations that are going on here. April 2nd, but looks like he's cutting back on a few things here. So I think it'll all work out. Remember, these tariffs are just negotiation tools. You know, don't be a scaredy cat. No fear over here, okay? We work around it. We trade both directions. We make money either way. Okay, so look at this Nasdaq. Now, last Friday we had that triple option expiration, and the market was pretty much all over the place, flat. And then at the end of the day, it popped right up here nicely. Okay, so this is the level that we were watching right here. Okay, this a 17,925. Okay, we were watching this. How many times it hit it? Kind of area. And now today we have this big gap. Now, I'm not a fan of the gaps here because eventually they do get filled. So let's look at the downside here first. Okay, so what you want to watch is today's low. 1830 and change, okay? And then we'll come over here to the top of this candle here. You're looking at 17,925, and then we look at Friday's high. You're looking at 17,798, and then we have that 8-day 17,715. Now you can see how the 8-day is curling up here nice. We had this nice sideways action here after this bottom situation. So I know we could go higher. The key now here on the upside is we got to watch this 21-day, okay? We have to close above it, 18,119. Okay, and then we look to today's high, 18,167. Then we come over here to the top of this candle right here. You're looking at 243. But what you're really watching is going to be this 200-day if you can close above that 21-day. Okay, so that's what you're looking at is that 18,445. That's the level. Okay, and then you can work yourself all the way on up here. But again, always on the downside, watch that gap, okay? That's very, very key. That's at 1830, and then watch that fill. That's at 17,798. Gap and fill. Never like that. Just wish you would just ease into it instead of just boom right on up here. But the 8 days curling nice here, but watch that 21-day on the upside. If we can get above that, then we have that 200-day sitting right there. Now, here, 46, plenty of room to the upside. The green crossed over your red. That shows momentum to the upside. Looking very, very nicely here on the old Nasdaq, okay? Now, here we have NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA here is doing a pretty good job here today. You're up there about 3%. But really, if you really want, you can look at the TQQQs. You're up almost, what are we at here? Up at almost 6%, okay? So TQQs is a good way to trade all this. It's got NVIDIA, Tesla, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Google, you know, Costco, blah, 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 blah. It's all right in there, and it pays a small dividend. Okay, so what we're watching here on NVIDIA here is got 122.22 on the high. We'll look at the upside first. You're watching the top of this candle right here, 122.89, okay? Now, if we can get above that, we're going to come right to the top here. You're looking at 123.70. We'll come up here, 125.09. But what we're really looking for is that 50-day at 126.57. We get above that, and then we have that 200-day sitting rate, 127.79, and then obviously the 133.26 level is your old 100-day, okay? So, but again, this is the key. It's going to be that 50-day if it keeps right on running. But watch the top of this candle because you just never know if that's a double top situation and she comes flying on back on the downside. Okay, now what we want to watch here is we got stuck right here. Okay, so you're sitting at 118.42 level and 118.23. Here's your 8-day and your 21-day. Now you can see how it rolled down, but up here nicely. Okay, very, very nicely. And it was holding it here. Friday came down, but you can't look at option when you get that quadruple witching. That could go either way. It's really, really like a nothing burger kind of situation. And now she just gapped it up nicely. But always watch this gap, okay? So you look at the bottom, 119.34, there's your gap. And then look to the top, 117.99, there's your fill. Gap fill, but we have that 21-day and we have that 8-day. So you got a lot of support going on right here. But again, watch the top of this candle so she doesn't do a little top, double top ski, and then 122.89, and then comes right on down. Okay, but if we can keep right on rolling, watch that 50-day. That's going to be key, and then watch that 200-day. That's going to be key. Now, 50, plenty of room here to run on the upside. The green is over your red. That shows momentum to the upside. Very, very nice. Now, there's no divergence here because we had a low. We had even lower low, and they have even lower low. So there's no divergence going on here. But let's just see if we can get that bad boy running. Okay, let's take a look here now at Bitcoin. Okay, here we have Bitcoin. Okay, and here you have the long that I trade, the IBIT. The reason I like this is because it's one-on-one and it's a spot price. It's not the futures price, it's the spot price and it's one-on-one. It's not a leverage ETF. Works out very, very nicely. Okay, now the leverage stuff is always good, but just remember at the end of the day, it rebalances and okay, it deteriorates. Okay, so always remember that. That's why I like the one-on-one. Same way like for natural gas, UNG is the one-on-one, KOLD. Okay, that's a double, and that deteriorates as you can very well see. Okay, you got to figure KOLD on the Nasdaq on the natural gas hit as high as 85. You're sitting at 20 bucks right now. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Now, let's take a little peek, ski what's going on with Bitcoin. Now, you can see here where this was like a possible bear flag situation. But realistically, I just think we just had a rising wedge and looks like we're just kind of breaking out here. But we got to see how if this can still keep right on running up here. The whole key is this 92 area. That's what we're looking for, okay? So today we had this high here of 88,865 level, okay? So next level we're going to be looking for is look at the top of this candle, 89,380. But right here is what we're looking for is that 92,784 and then the 50-day at 93,678. But you can see here, I'm going to show you, when you look and bring this right across, see that line bringing across? That's that 90. That's that. Let me just take it up a little bit here. There we go. See, this is that 92 area that we're looking for. Okay, so your 100-day is sitting just about right there. Because look how many times that we've hit it and it's held. Okay, but again, once it sells, you break that, then you're going to have a downside. But again, we can see this where this is a rising wedge here, but you know what I'm saying? If it just keeps rising, I should say, you'll get rid of that bear flag here in a hurry, okay? So just because you have a bear flag or you have a bull flag, that doesn't mean they play out every time, okay? So always just remember that. Now, when we look here on the downside, the key level here we have to hold is this 85,545 and that 8-day at 84,192. Right now, we have a nice big green candle, and this is trading with the overall market. So just remember, when the market goes up, Bitcoin goes up and is doing the same thing, goes down, Bitcoin goes down. So always remember that. Now, this is the IBIT that I trade. And you can see the charts are just about, identical here. Look at your RSI here. You look at your MACD. Everything is just identical, and it works out very, very nice. So if this can rise up here to that 100 SMA here at that 92 level, then I'll be looking here to go for this 52, 56 level. And then we could hit the 50-day, 53.11 here. But this is the area I'd be looking for if Bitcoin keeps right on rising. Now, the short on this is BITI. But right now, I just think we got this. I just think that this is going to be back in play. And I think the whole thing is these tariffs. Once we get this all settled out here, I think the market is going to really end up liking this, and it's going to move up much higher kind of a situation here, okay? So, again, today what you want to watch is just watch that 21-day and that 8-day on the downside, and then we're going to try to aim for that 92, 790, 782 there on the upside. Now, this morning I pointed out the top of this candle here, that 87,650, but obviously we went above that here, okay? But again, if you draw a line here, a trend line, we're still in this channel, okay? So that doesn't mean we can't just keep rising right back up here again and come on down, rising up, come on down, but we have this rising channel. So if we just put a line all the way across here and all the way in bottom, we do have a rising up channel here, which, it basically is kind of like a bear flag situation. But again, you're rising at so many days, and then eventually that pans out and you hit that, going to be that 100-day. Then we have to see what the reaction is once we get there, if we get there. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil and Natgas. Okay, here we have crude oil, here we have Natgas. Okay, so here is that same rising channel here again. Okay, see this? So if we just put a line going all across here, we could probably end up keep around and going sideways action until we hit that 100-day. So we got the same pretty much scenario. But what I do like about this is we had this double bottom, okay? And that told me I had to get out of that short position once you have these double bottoms, because we hit that 65.22, and then we made that higher low, that 65.29. Nice double bottom, and then she's been rising. Yeah, it's a chop fest. Don't get me wrong, it's a chop fest. But again, it looks like it just wants to go higher. So the upside here we're looking at today's high was 69.23 level, okay? So we were looking for this level right here, 69.14. We went just a scotch above it. Now, the next level we're going to be looking for, look at the bottom of that candle at 69.80, and then we'll be looking for 100-day here, sitting at 70.63. Then we have to see what the reaction is. Does the go back up and hit that 50-day and that 200-day, or does it come right back down and then, sell right off again? So what we're looking on the downside is just watch this 21-day, 67.92 and 67.61. Very, very key levels here. RSI, plenty of room to run. Green over red, looking very, very nice. But if you look at it, it's pretty much the same kind of a pattern that we do have on the old Bitcoin. So just trade this. I'm long the UCO, okay, and she's looking pretty nice. I'm going to see if we can wiggle our way all the way up to that old hundo right here. Now, remember, we're coming into seasonality here now, here for the summer driving. So, you know, this could be all the way till June. You could have a nice, good run up here, but let's just take this one level at a time. Now, natural gas here. Well, again, same thing as I always say is here, we have to respect that 50 SMA here. Okay, reason being, right there, we hit it, held it, hit it, held it, hit it, held it, and now we're holding it this again. If it comes down a little bit, that's going to be fine. So now we're trading here basically between that 388, that 50-day, and that 8 and that 21-day. So upside, you want to watch here. That's going to be resistance, 403, and then we have that 412, and then we'd be looking for that 425 level. Okay, so that's what we're going to look for. Obviously, if you get above 433, 437, 442, and then work yourself all the way up to 455. But right now, we just watch that 8-day on the upside. If you get above it, the next level is going to be the 21-day. Next level is going to be that 425 level because we had a double top situation and she sold down. Downside, this 50-day is everything. Okay, we lose that. They're going to go right to this 374, which is basically the bottom of that candle. And then we take the price channel, bring that right across here. Next is 355, and then we have 354. Okay, so nothing's really changed from this morning here. We just have this sideways action kind of situation just between the 50-day, the 8, and the 21-day. Okay, this looks like it's going to be possibly breaking out to the buffs. If we can get that 8-day crossing over that 21-day, then I think we can push it up at least to that hundo up there, maybe even that 50 SMA. Okay, that's what I got for you. Market just smoking higher here today. The bull is in play. 573 on the Dow, 360 on the Nasdaq, and almost 94 there on the S&P. All right, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.